Hello, everyone. I hope you guys had a wonderful New Year's and everybody is safe and sound. Let me get myself pulled up here. Okay, I think we're good. I guess we need to turn my volume down because we don't want to hear me talking twice. Hello, Patty. Hello, Pam. Happy New Year's. Yeah, we stayed home this year and, well, we stayed home last year too. We pretty much stay home. Oh my goodness. We pretty much stay home every year because we are just old people. And that's what old people do, right? Is we just stay home. Well, maybe not all old people, but us old people here in my house stay home. I'm kind of a fuddy-duddy like that. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Frida. Hello, Rhea. Hello, Mother. Yeah, we invited the neighbors over. The neighbors came over and we played some games. And at first we started out with playing board games and cards. And the neighbors were whipping our butts. I mean, it was crazy. I was like, gee, is this like beginner's luck? Because I've played these games multiple times and I never win. It's always my husband or my son. So, yeah, first time them playing it. Hello, Anna. First time them playing it, they wound up, the wife wound up beating us. So then we decided, okay, we're going to go play. They don't have any kids. So my son has a Nintendo Switch. So we were playing that, it's called Mario Party is the game that he got for Christmas. And it is a lot of fun. And I'm not a big video gamer. That's my son and my husband's thing. But we all sat here and we played this Mario Party thing. And oh my goodness, we had the best time playing this game. Let me tell you, it's like it's almost like a virtual board game, really. And we were just cracking up. We were up until 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't even realize like the new year had already like rang in. And then the neighbor, she was telling me, she goes, oh my gosh, I forgot to text all my friends and tell them Happy New Year's. And I was like, well, what time is it? She goes, it's like 1:30, 2 o'clock. And I was like, is it really? And she goes, yeah, it is. We were having so much fun. Hello, Arliss. I didn't even realize what time it was. So that was kind of nice. I'm not a big game player anyways. Growing up, I was raised around 3 male cousins. I'm the only girl. And it's one of those things where they had like game rage. And I'm not talking video games. I'm talking regular board games. I despise the game Monopoly because of my cousins. They were so stinking competitive. And they're all 2 years apart. And the youngest one is 6 months younger than me. So we were all like relatively close in age together. And I remember the 2 older boys, they were so competitive that I remember many Monopoly games with the table being tossed. And I remember my grandparents, because my grandparents watched us while our parents worked. And I remember crawling around. My grandparents would get on our butts and they would tell us, you guys pick up every single piece of that game. And hello, Lois. And so, and it wasn't a one-person deal. Since we all sat down to play it, regardless who got mad and whoever threw the game, we all had to clean it up. That's just the way it worked. You all were playing it, so you all have to clean up. I remember crawling around underneath the tables, trying to pick the table up because the table got turned upside down, crawling around, picking up all those stinking little houses, and then trying to make sure you find all the little, the little metal game pieces. We had to find all those because the game couldn't be incomplete because that just wasn't okay. And we didn't have like Amazon back then where we can just order new pieces if we needed it. I mean, you really had to you know, search or go buy a whole new game. And that wasn't happening with Grandma and Grandpa. No, no. We were going to find all those pieces. Oh, and on top of that, not only did we have to find the pieces, the money went flying and all the properties went flying. So you had to make sure everything was picked up. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's dealt with this. Were these cousins on your dad's side? No, this was my mom's sister's sons. So yeah, they're my, I don't know my father. I don't know, this is getting a little personal, but no, I was not raised around my dad. He kind of decided to make other choices in life when I think the last time I saw him was I was probably about 7, if even that. I don't know, my mom could probably tell you better than I could, but no, this was, I was pretty close to because my mom's, only one of my mom's sisters had children, and so, yeah, it was my 3 cousins, and like I said, I was the only granddaughter for the longest time until I was an adult. And then my uncle, he wound up having children with his wife, but that was when we were much later in life. We were already adults when that was happening. Oh, well, thank you so much, Peggy. I don't know. I remember I talked to him when we were living in Oregon. I remember my aunt, I think down in California, gave him my phone number, and he called me when I was like 18 years old. And it was really like kind of odd. And I'm this again, TMI, but he had called me, I think it was like on a Valentine's Day or right around there, and he wanted me to drive down to California and see him. I was 18, and I was like, no way, man. I just bought my first car. I can't afford to drive to California. And I was 18. I couldn't drive that far, you know, on my own. It wasn't going to happen. So he was asking me, he goes, so, you know, did you graduate high school? And I go, well, no. And then he's like, oh, well, okay. And then, so he was like proud of me that I didn't graduate. And you know, again, these are my personal things, and it's things that I've had to deal with in life. And I know I'm not the only person who's never graduated, but, you know, it hasn't stopped me from living my life, but neither here nor there. And then he was kind of upset that I wasn't like into doing drugs. And I know that what parent like says these kinds of things to their kids, but it really kind of blew my mind. I was like, well, maybe it was better that he wasn't in my life, because I probably would have taken some wrong paths. And then he'd asked me if I had children, and I was like, I'm only 18. No, I don't have children yet. And so again, he was kind of like, oh, well, I thought maybe I would be a grandfather. I'm like, well, you haven't been a father, so what makes you think you'd be I don't know. It was the weirdest conversation I had ever had with a human being that, I mean, we're in relation with each other, because, I mean, most people, especially parents, are not going to say these weird things, but whatever. I mean, to each his own. And so that was the last time I have ever spoken with him. So whatever. Anyways, so, we have, I hope you guys all have your catalogs. They're saying that everybody should have their catalogs by the 5th. If you don't have it by the 5th, and you have been a customer of mine, or you've reached out to me and asked me to put you on my mailing list when I was letting you guys know that I could have Stampin' Up! Send them to you. If you don't have your catalog and you know one's supposed to be coming from me, if you don't have it by the 5th, please reach out to me, get a hold of me, and let me know, hey, you know, hey lady, I didn't get my catalog. Or you might want to find out if your husband's hiding it. Just saying. I mean, I've heard that from others, that their husband made it to the mailbox before they did, and that's why they don't have their catalog. Pretty smart thinking. But nonetheless, it's still fun to look at. So, if you don't have it by, so tomorrow, that goes live. I will have it posted over on my blog where you can see the PDFs. I will probably make sure I do that by midnight tonight. Hopefully. Now, don't hold your breath on that, because sometimes I say things and don't get it done. But it will be on my blog by tomorrow. I will have the PDFs for these catalogs. I can't even open them now for you. Woo! I know, isn't that sad? I'm holding these things with all this greatness inside of it, and I can't even open it to show you. But those of you who have it, you know what I'm talking about. So let's get you guys flipped around. I have some really cool things to show you guys today, and I know I say that every week because I'm kind of partial to what I make. Toot toot. Just kidding. All right, hold on. Don't get sick. I'm going to flip you guys around here. And hopefully I have moved my camera a little bit closer, that now maybe you guys will be a little bit more zoomed in so you can see these projects a little bit better. All right, so don't forget, tonight is the last, by, depending on where you are, but by 11, or I would say 11:51 p.m. Mountain Time is the last time you will be able to order this paper and these gems. And if you want to hold off on this, it is coming in that new catalog, so you can always get this at a different time, but get some of this. I'm pretty sure it's still available. Last time I checked, they still had more in stock. Also, the other thing, and we might play with this tonight, I did make a card that I will show you that's alternative to the other one that I'm going to make. But this paper here, it is like a vellum, and it is gold, and it is full of beautiful shimmer to that. And this is on sale right now. This is part of that last chance product, and it is only $4.50 right now. And I know as of yesterday, there were still some of this available. So if you get two 12 by 12 sheets of that for $4.50. So I would definitely recommend getting some of that beautiful shimmery paper. And so these things are going to be gone by, I'm going to say midnight my time, because I'm in Mountain Time right now. And then the other thing that we still have going through January 10th is our paper pumpkin kit for the month of January. This is Kisses and Hugs. It's going to come with the gray granite classic spot. It also has a coordinating pack that you can get along with it that has little mini treat boxes. So if you go over to the Paper Pumpkin website, which I've put a link here in the description of this video, you can check out all the details about this. The other thing that I wanted to let you guys know is it is a great time to buy your prepaid subscription for your paper pumpkin. A lot of people hold off until this time of year because as of tomorrow, Sale-A-Brations starts, and this is when you can earn your celebration products for getting your paper pumpkin subscription. So if you're not ready to take that big leap into buying stamp sets or, all the things that are big in Stampin' Up, but you want these kits because they're your all-in-one kit and they will come to your mailbox every month unless you decide that you want to take a month off, then you already can have your prepaid subscription already paid for, and then you can just decide what kits you want. And you earn those free celebration items with that. And again, don't forget, last night, this is our last night up until, like I said, 11:59, that you can get those last chance products as well. I feel like I'm maybe starting to get a little bit of a cold. I'm not certain. I feel like earlier I just couldn't stop sneezing. And now I have like this tickle in my nose that is just driving me nuts. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's not anything that's going to be yucky. All right, so our first card is going to be one of these. This is called a pocket card. Now, the way this works is you can decide a couple of different things. You can decide whether you want your orientation to go landscape or whether you want it portrait style. So this one here I've made is portrait style. This is a great way to use up your designer series paper. Now, this is just an 11 or a 12. You use a full 12-inch sheet cut at 4 1/4. That's your width. So you can get, what is that? Even if you cut these down to a 4-inch, that would work as well. Then you could wind up getting 3 full cards on one full 12-sheet paper. So if you cut this at 4 and at 4, you'll have 3 cards that you can do this. Now for mine, I really want to get my paper used up. This is called, now I don't have the coordinating stamp set that goes with this paper because I wasn't really into the pansies. So I just went ahead and bought the paper because I thought the paper was really pretty. And I like to do these DSP samplers, these sheets right here. So I can always come in and say, okay, I need something that's using this, you know, polished pink. Then I know what papers I have that coordinate with that. So that's why I make sure I buy one of every pack to begin with. And then I can see what papers I'm going to need and what I'm going to use more often. And you guys all know me with my evening evergreen. So that's why I kind of just pulled this one out. So I do have the paper and I want to get this used up. Not because it's discontinued or it's retiring or anything, because this paper is in the annual catalog. But it's so pretty that I don't have the stamps that match it. So I thought, hey, what better way than to use this paper on these little pocket cards. So I am going to be using this print right here for this card. Now this fits a, where's it at? You can put a gift card. Come on. My gift card is stuck. You can put a gift card right down in there and still have space up here to write your sentiment or stamp your sentiment. You can put cash in there. You can do a bunch of different things with this. They're really simple and easy. So we're going to get right into it so I can show you guys how to do this. And where did I write my... I don't think I wrote it. But anyways, let me show you. I just got done doing my paper samples. Now I haven't done my little circles yet because I have my mom cut all these out for me. Then I glue them. And then she goes home and she cuts out all my little circles that match these. But look how fun these things are. I think I'm going to put a link over on my post, or over on my blog, which is stampinthepinkbarn.blogspot.com. And I think I'm going to sell, and it won't come with the paper on it. The paper will be something you have to purchase. But all the new paper that we have, I think I'm going to sell the PDFs that you can print these out for yourself. So again, they won't come with any of the paper on them. You'll have to just print this out on cardstock, or our thick designer series paper, or our thick basic white is what I have on here. And then it will just print them out the way that you need them. So I think I'm going to sell the PDFs for $6. I think that's fair. And then it's for all the new paper that is in the JJ Mini, all the DSPs for the JJ Mini and for Celebrations. So Celebrations, it says SAB on the ones that are for Celebration. So you'll know that those will end at the end of February. And then these are the ones that will continue through, what is it, January to June? Yeah. So you'll be able to cut your little pieces of paper out of your designer series paper when you get it. Now these are bigger packs, so there are 24 different designs, so that's why I had to cut these at 1.5 square. And then your ones that have your there are 12 different patterns, but it's on the flip side of each one. So these I do 2x2s, and then I take a 1-inch. I use, as I dump all my paper out here, my scrap paper bin. And then I take, this is just an old, not Stampin' Up brand. It's just a 1-inch circle punch. And then, like I showed you over here, I just punch those little circles out with my 1-inch punch. And since it has all your colors already written on here for you, you can just go and get all the colors that you need and put them on there. So then it makes it easy. So when you need to, you know, you're looking for a specific color, or you know there's a design that you want to use, but you don't want to have to sit there and flip through all your paper. It's just right there and kind of handy for you. All right. So this is my host code that is current right now. So when you go to buy product, please add that to your order unless your order is over $150. Don't use my host code. You're going to become your own host, and I want you to have the rewards that Stampin' Up is going to give you. Now, even when you use this code and it's celebrations, you're still going to earn your celebrations. That has nothing to do with this code, just to let you know that. All right, so let's get this going here. I have to measure this because I thought I had it written down, and apparently I don't. Okay, so this is a 12 by 4 1/4. And we're going to need our arm out on this. Now, since this paper direction goes this way, I'm going to make this look like this. It's going to be your landscape pocket versus this one where the paper wasn't really directional. I can turn it either way, but I chose to do it this way so I could show you the difference with the landscape going the opposite way on this one. All right, so I need to cut this at, that needed to be, well, so 1.5 I need to cut. Okay, so this is going to be flipped over like this, so I need to cut it at 1.5. So that is going to go, oops, I'm not even in front of you guys, right? Can't believe I didn't write this down. Jeez. So 1.5 on my end, and then I'm going to go up to, I think I'm going to take this all the way, and so the dimensions and everything will be over on my blog since I spaced it, and I thought I was ready, and I didn't have it all done for you guys. So from this point, it's going to be 5.5. So I'm just lining this up to do 5.5 because I dropped the ball on that. So if I was to have this one folded in, oops, and you know what? I didn't even pay attention to my directions. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me cut this because I did not do that correctly. And let me measure this really quick. Okay, so I need to cut that at, measure that at 1 1/4, but I need to make sure that I do it at the right end. So cut this at 4 1/4. Okay, and then I need to make sure that I have it facing the right way. So my paper needs to be directioned like it's facing down, but since I want my card to fold this way, I want to make sure that I do my 1.5 fold on this end. So I'm going to do 1.5, get my cutting blade out of there so I don't cut anything off. 1.5, and then I'm going to go up to my move this down. See, technically I need to have it flipped like this so I can show you what I'm doing. So it would be 1.5 that side, but just make sure your direction is facing the right way. So 1.5, and then you're going to take it to, I think it's 7.5. And then I think it's 11 is the last one. So 7. So then run it up to 7. Okay, and then I think your last little bit is only 1/2 inch. Let me measure. Oh, it's 3/4. So then you're going to run this down to, if this is 12, we need to take it to, what, 11.25? Yep. And then that will leave us a 3/4 inch off the side. So let me tell you that again. So when you first put it in, here is your directional paper. So when you first put it in, you're going to start with your, direction facing down. So it's towards you, because we're going to flip this over. So you're going to do 1.5 is going to be your first score line. Then you're going to run it over to your 7-inch mark. And then you're going to run it all the way down to 3.25. Okay. Or 3.25. Oh my goodness. 11.25. Space Cadet lady. Then you're going to need your base for the inside. Now this is where you need your thick, because this is very it's a lot thinner than our regular cardstock. So you're going to need thick basic white, or whatever color you want to put inside of here. So if you don't want to use white, another color that coordinates with this is that soft sea foam, or you could use your Daffodil Delight, or even some of that Fresh Freesia would be pretty to put that on the inside of there. Now, I don't know what colors would look best with the inside. I would think probably your soft sea foam if you don't want to go with white, because then that won't look so contrast off those stripes. And this piece you're going to need is 4 by 5.25, a regular inside of a card. Now, if you're doing a 4-inch instead of the 4.25 like I did, your inside would be 5 by 3.75. All right, so how we're going to do this is we're going to take this, since this is the outside of our card, we're going to fold it in the middle, okay, on that big line that we scored at the 7. Then this little piece is going to come up, and this little piece is going to come up, okay? So then it'll sit just like that, and we're going to decorate the front of this, and then this piece will go in the inside. And I think I actually have a piece of soft sea foam that I can just show you what that would look like with the soft sea foam on the inside. So see, if you wanted to, you could use soft sea foam on the inside of that, and then you're not with something so like crazy and white. But this is not as thick as your thick basic white, but it's okay. It will still be workable. Is that a word? So then we want to come in here and figure out what stamp sets and what sentiment we want to use. Then I grabbed my layering circles, and I grabbed this one here, which is the 3rd biggest. So 1, 2, 3. And I cut that out of my favorite, of course, my Evening Evergreen. Then I cut a little white circle that will then, right here. So I'm pretty sure this one was 2.5 and this one was 2.25. I think I did measure that. Okay, so yeah, 2.5 on the scallop. And then the circle is, yep, 2.25. Whew, I at least had that one right. So these are layering circles, so you can layer them any way you want to. If you wanted to go up to the other size bigger, which is this one, it almost completely covers your scallop. It leaves a lot less. So kind of what I'm trying to say is, see how this has a lot wider band on it, on that purple fresh freesia? You can see a lot more of it. Normally, if you grab the one that's exactly the one that coordinates with it, it's going to take you, I don't know if you can see, there's an edge around this scallop. So all you're going to see is maybe a 1/16 of an inch of your scallop. And I wanted to see a little bit more of that color, if that makes sense. Then I'm going to grab my Evening Evergreen. This is the chevron weave. Now, I haven't used this a lot. I've used the open weave one quite a bit, but this one I just thought would be really pretty on this. Oh, my throat is kind of scratchy. So I'm going to grab my Evening Evergreen, which I think I have right here for the next card. And we're going to stamp. So this is the set that I decided to use. This is one of our Sale-A-Brations sets, which I think is totally a must-have. It is earned with a $100 product purchase. Let me get this other light turned on so we don't have so many shadows. And it has got some of the most amazing sentiments in it. It is like all over the board. You've got your sympathy, you've got your friendship, you've got birthday, you've got congratulations, and then this one, it says, I couldn't wait for a special occasion. So it's kind of like all your occasions in one. And I think for this little circle on this card, we've had a couple. I think I need, not sure about you guys, but this one I put on here, it said, where would I be without a friend like you? And I didn't put anything on the inside because I wasn't sure, you know, that's one of those things that you can make these in mass production and just do a bunch of sentiments on the outside and then leave them blank on the inside until you're ready, you know, for the recipient, and then you'll know what kind of card you want to make that to. What does that say? Thanks for brightening up my day. Will that fit in there? That might be really tight. For someone who is wonderful in each and every way. I like that. Or what is that one? Just a card to say you're amazing. I like that, actually. I need to get making, as much as I hate making them, it's still essential, and I need to make some. I need to make some sympathy cards, and I despise making sympathy cards, and I know it's a thing, and I know that's a part of, you know, life, but I am just really not good at making sympathy cards. You just order these sayings. I know, right? It was one of those things that as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I have to have that set. So I had to, of course, make a $100 purchase. You know, I had to justify, you know, you know how it is. You have to justify your purchases. Well, at least I do. All right, so there is that. Now we could come in with something. I don't think I have anything sitting right here, but I was thinking something with just a little bit of floral on that. I don't have the set that goes with this, but if this little leaf right here actually kind of looks like one of these that are in this Eden's Garden that I have been showing you guys the whole time. But like I said, this one is coming in the new catalog, so you'll be able to get it. It's just that beautiful paper, which I will be using on another card in just a little bit. That is not going to be available anymore if you don't get a hold of it tonight. So I think I'm going to use this little bugger right here. I think I'm just going to put that right there. And let's see, what color do we want on that? You know, maybe we should use soft seafoam. I had a little piece of scrap right here. Okay, so let me stamp this out on scrap first. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to stamp it right on the bottom here, just like that. And I think that is just enough to kind of dress that up a little bit. And then we are going to take this piece. Now, I'm not certain, again, about putting a sentiment in the inside of this, because just a card to say you're amazing. So with that saying, you know, you can put any kind of wording in the inside once you're, you know, who you're giving this card to. So I think I'm going to leave that blank for whoever wins this card. So the way you get entered into my giveaway is you just simply need to come in, comment, like, and share this video, because caring is sharing, right? Or sharing is caring. See, I can't even say it right. Okay, so just like that. And then we're going to just put a little bit of glue, or you can use tear and tape, your choice. Or if you don't want this to be a pocket, you can absolutely put glue over this whole thing and glue the whole thing down. I just simply wanted this pocket because I never know who I need to send a little gift to, or because of, like I said, with the whole sympathy card thing that I'm having to make quite a few of right now, which is horrible to say. Sometimes you might just want to throw a little Visa card in there. Not saying go crazy big, but you know, normally in those kind of times, the person who is dealing with it doesn't really have time to worry about, you know, meals, especially if it's a family who has lost a loved one. Thinking about sitting down and making a meal is not something you want to deal with. So if you just tuck a little Visa card in there, you know, maybe 50 bucks or something, 20 bucks, that can at least get them, you know, dinner for a night, depending on how big the family is, right? So that's just kind of a thing. So if you were to do it this way, again, that card just kind of sits in there like that. And I always put just a snot dot, one of our mini glue dots, on the back to make sure that when I put it in there, it sticks. And then I just kind of push it down with my finger. And then it's not going to destroy the card, because before I attach it in there, I always kind of tap it to my hand a little bit so it gets some of those natural oils off of my hand onto that, so it doesn't wind up tearing the card up at all. Okay, so that is the inside. Then I think what I'm going to do is take this, and I think, no, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. So again, I'm trying to use up a lot of my paper because there's so many of those pretty papers that are coming out. And so, like, for me, who is, you know, running this business, I can't show you guys all the paper that is now retired out of the holiday catalog as of, you know, tomorrow pretty much, because you can't get your hands on that. So why would I want to show you guys and promote something that you can't, you know, purchase? Because that's not fair. So in that behalf, I need to get some of those papers out and use them up. And some of them are very much holiday. Some of them are not. So it's always fun to kind of go through and see what you have. What am I looking for? Okay. And then I need my scissors here. I'm just going to grab both sets because they're here. And then I'm just going to tie just a bow. And so I'm going to slide this up a little bit because then I know that I'll be able to slide it. once I get it down. Okay, so there is that, and then I'm just going to cut these ends off. And then I can take this and I can kind of pinch this in and slide that down. Now what I want to do is I want to cover where that seam is sitting, so it kind of just looks seamless, flawless, whatever you want to call it. Just kind of like where it just transitions into that other pattern. Just like that. And then we're going to take this and glue that onto our green scallop, our evening evergreen. Okay, and then I'm going to take some dimensionals and then pop that up on here. Okay. Happy birthday, Miss Melanie Foy. Look at you, spending your birthday with me. Aren't you a doll? All right, then I'm going to take this and I'm going to pick this little piece up here and I'm going to cover. Okay, so you gotta tell us, what did you have for dinner? Actually, I need to move this little bow down a little bit. It's too high. Did you guys go out to dinner? Or did your hubby make you something special? Ha ha ha! Okay, I'm going to pick that up a little bit and just put that kind of right there. Just like that. Okay, so there we go. Kind of easy and just something you can just kind of put together with not using a whole heck of a lot of material, but just have a couple. I mean, you don't even have to have these scallop ones, just if you have a couple different circles and you want to put 2 different layers together to just match. I mean, and you're kind of endless on colors that you can use here, because there's so many different colors in our papers that you could really go crazy with a lot of these. So I just wanted to show you guys that so you guys can use some of your paper up, so then you don't have to feel guilty about buying some of that new paper that comes out tomorrow. All right, so again, here is the landscape style of this card, and then there is the portrait style of this card. Pretty cool, huh? And then, like I said, using that thick basic white really kind of adds some integrity to this card, so it's not super flimsy. Okay, so let me get card number 2. Let me clean this off really quick. Now I'm saving the last card that I'm going to do for you because it's kind of messy, but I want to show you the technique because I just learned it. I watched somebody do it, and again, it's going to be one of those things you guys are going to have a field day with. And if you try or make any of the cards that I am showing you tonight, I would love for you to take pictures and post them over on our group page, which is the Pink Barn Stampers group. You can go over there and just join the group. I just ask everybody to be kind and polite to one another. What am I looking for? Oh, this, stuck it up here. Not another one of those nights, please. I don't know if you guys saw my Thursday paper pumpkin, but holy crap, it was a train wreck. But I guess it happens, right? It was just in the, well, I'm not going to say it was just in the beginning because I was losing things left and right. I couldn't even keep my head on straight. That's when I think that, gee, maybe I am getting a cold because my brain is fogged. All right, so let's do this next card. Let me get all the pieces out for it. Put some of these other ones away. So this is, I'm going to show you guys, well, actually, I'm going to hold on. I'm not going to show it to you first. I'm going to show it to you after, and then you guys can decide which one you like better. All right, so surprise, surprise, Evening Evergreen. And we're going to be using that what's it called? Ever Eden Specialty Designer Series paper. I wanted to show you this one last time before it's gone because it is just stunning. And I am going to show you a card using that that gold shimmer that I just showed you guys a little bit ago, so you can see what it looks like actually on a card. That is the alternative card that what I'm going to show you today, that I'm going to make for you today. Okay, we're going to need to score this and cut it. So what we need is, this is an 11 by 4 1/4. We're going to cut 2.5 inches off. See, I wrote down the measurements for this one. Why I spaced it on the last one, who knows? And then I'm going to score at 1.5 on each end. This is another really neat fun fold that you can do in so many different ways. And then I'm going to completely spin it around. So now my other score that I just did is on this side, and I'm going to score at 1.5. Now, if you don't want to have to spin it, you can always move that all the way over. Hello, Kay. And you can put it at the very end over here on this track here. That's also going to get you to 1.5. And then you can score it. As you can see that my score line's already there because it's just easier for me to line up like that and line up like that and score. But you do you. All right, so this is going to now go like this. And then this bottom is going to go like that. Then I have two pieces here. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4. So your regular inside of a card. And then this one here is 5, no, what is this? This is 5 by 3 3/4 is my white piece. So that'll go there. Then I need 2 pieces of my designer series paper, and this is 4 by 1 1/4. I think that one's upside down. I think I like it better like that. Same with that one. Okay. And then we need this piece here, which was the 2.5 piece that we cut off at the beginning. We cut it off the end of our card, just like that, remember? Then you need to have another coordinating piece, which is, I could probably do the math in my head, but it's just easier if I measure. Okay, so 2 1/4 by 4, because since this was off of there, it's 2.5 by 4 1/4. So this is where I was deciding what I wanted to do. If I wanted to do some of that silver on there with this, but let's get some of these pieces glued together and then we'll decide which piece we like better on that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna probably go with this, but we'll look. And then your white focal point piece is going to be 2 by 3 3/4. Now that piece is going to go either on the front of this or on the front of this, just depending on what we choose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to grab one of my pieces. Now, knowing that my card goes like this, I'm going to lay this on there and know how I like it and then flip this flat. I need a new score blade. I just replaced that. Man, I feel like I'm replacing those all the time. Must mean I'm cutting way too much paper. Okay, and then that's going to go on there. And again, I'm going to go this side and see that that's going to flip up that way. So then I need my paper to go the same direction. Okay, that's one thing I love about the green glue is that once I apply this, I have a few seconds to wiggle room with that. I mean, you use what glue you prefer, but I'm just saying this glue is probably like, if it's not #1 rated, it's got to be like #2. Okay, so there is our card base with our paper put on there. And then, oops, I have it upside down. Okay, then I'm going to glue this piece to this. After I remove that little lint ball. Okay, just like that. Now, I think I'm going to use maybe this little sprig right here. Now I'll show you the other one that I did earlier. And I need a scrap of soft succulent. So let me cut out. I need 2 of these little sprig pieces. So I'm going to cut 2 of those out really quick. Okay, there's one. If I can get that out of there. Do you like my technique of getting that out? That's called the lazy man's technique. If you don't want to just reach up and grab take your pick tool, you just throw your die on the desk and it will wind up popping that piece out. Okay, so there's those. So normally you would take your pick, or you would grab your little roller brush to get this out of there. But I find myself doing this more often than not, and it just lifts that up and out of there. Just like that. And then I can take your pick and I can get these little hitchhiker pieces. There we go. Then I have those. All right. So that's going to go there. This is going to fold down like this. Now comes in this piece. Now this piece is going to go right here in the center. Now this is where I was saying we can decide what we want to do. You can either place that there, so I'm just showing you guys the difference, and then this would go on the front, so that way you would get a hint of that gold because you have it in the paper, the DSP here, the specialty paper. So you see what I'm saying? Or we can go with the soft succulent, so then it matches this layer down here. Just like that. And then these little pieces, I'll show you what we're going to do with that, which is, I think I'm going to keep it like this. I think I'm going to not use this because I'm going to show you this. I did use this on the other card that looks like this, and I'll show you that in just a moment. when we get this one done. All right, so I'm going to do some stamping on this focal piece right here. I'm going to use that big flower right here, and then I'm going to use that Sending Hugs stamp up there as well for the center. And then I'm going to leave enough space in the center here so I can stamp my sentiment. Just like that. I'm going to use Versamark with my Sending Hugs, and then I'm going to grab my gold embossing powder. So before I do that, I want to take my embossing buddy. Now, Stampin' Up! Used to sell these, and then they stopped. For what reason, I don't know, but is what it is. And you can purchase something similar on like Amazon. And then I'm just going to do this right in the center here. So I used Versamark. Just like that. And then make sure I close that so none of my little powdery bits go flying over to my powder, or to my stamp pad, because that could be very bad. Okay, and then I just go like that, tappity tap. And I'm going to do it one more time because I see some places that didn't quite get enough. I think I tapped it maybe too hard. Okay, just like that. And then now I'm going to use my my heat tool. Guess I didn't let that dry enough because some of those pieces kind of want to stick to that green. So you're going to watch that powder kind of melt and turn into like a gold butter. Ooh, my eyes are watering. Hold on just a second. Okay. I hope I'm not getting cold. That would suck. Oh well. I guess it's that time of year. So now that we are done embossing that, I can go ahead and apply this right to this piece. Yeah, a couple of our team members are needing sympathy cards. We actually lost one of our pretty active team members. Very sad. I got the email the other day that cards are needed to be sent to her family. And then I just read this morning that one of my son's co-op parents, her mother has passed. So I have that to send. And then we have one of our other team members who I think she is in the hospital, or I know she's in the hospital, but I think she is improving from what I think I read last night. So lots of cards that I have to get made. Thank God that 2 of them are only sympathy ones. All right, so this is now gonna go in here, and normally I would stamp on this first, but I'm gonna be ballsy. There's no other way to say it. I'm gonna be ballsy, and I'm going to put this in here and keep my fingers crossed that I don't screw it up, because I have to align everything to make sure I get it all put in there, you know, lined up correctly. Because I always tell you guys, make sure you stamp your insides first. So if you mess up on one side, you can always flip it over and use the other side. Well, I'm going against my own rule at the moment, because we got some things to line up here. So I'm going to make sure I follow these 2 margins here when I'm placing this white piece. Then we're going to take these little sprigs and we're going to put them right here on the inside of this piece. Okay. So I'm going to hold my finger where I know because I only need glue right here, because I'm not putting any glue on the bottom, because I want this to be able to open. So I'll show you in just a second what I'm talking about. So just enough glue up at that top piece there, because it is the only piece that's going to be touching or being adhered and stuck. Now, I'm not sure what this fold is called, so if any of you guys know what this is called, please let me know so I can put the proper name on the blog when I put this up there. I think I got that crooked. Nope, it looks okay. Yep, okay. Now, I'm going to take these and open this up and put this here and put this one here. Now, you know what you actually could do, what I was just thinking, is you could actually cut out 4 of these and kind of do them like this. Like that would be kind of cool, how it's kind of that little swish. That would be really pretty. Or you could do it in gold, which would be really pretty also, because I kind of don't like that they're both going the same way. So maybe I'm going to go opposite. I don't know. Ooh, I hate decisions. Commitment is hard, I tell ya. I think we're just going to keep it like that. That'll work. Nobody's going to judge, right? It's a pretty card. I don't think anybody's going to nitpick that far. And if they do, oh well. I just won't send them a card again. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's put that right here. Center that. Okay, and then we're going to do this one. Yeah, I love it too. I made another card that I was going to kind of spoil alert and show it tonight, but I don't want to. It's a card that we're going to actually make at my live class. I have a class coming up on the 9th and the 20th of this month. And I actually did this using that, what's it called? The Sweet geez, tongue twister there. The Sweet Conversations set. I used this Valentine set along with the Sweet Conversation paper right here. I used this paper here to make one of my live card, or one of our live cards, because we always do 3 cards at my class. So we're going to do Valentine's cards since we only have a very short window to make Valentine's cards anyways. I wanted to do that. But the way my people like it at my class is that they only like me to show just a little small sneak peek of the cards that we're making, because then that makes them excited to see the full card when they get there, when they're making it. Then it kind of builds up that anticipation to, oh my gosh, what are we making, you know? And then they don't know that it's a fun fold. So it's kind of cool that now I just let everybody know that they're going to be making this fun fold, but they don't have any idea how stinking cute it is going to be. All right. So then that is going to go like that. Cute, right? And I need to put a sentiment in the inside of this one. So what I've decided is, since we have sending hugs, I'm going to do my heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything. I just think that's so cute. Oh my goodness. Do you see? Do you see what happened? Urgh. Well, you know what? I was ballsy and I screwed it up. Shoot. I wonder if I could take... See, that's also when your Stamparatus comes in handy. I don't think I'm going to slaughter that if I do that. You know what? I'm just going to have to put a new piece on here. Hold on. I'm going to pull these off. Okay, take that off. Take that off. Take that off. Okay, hold on. We can fix this. Don't fret. Let me grab another piece of white. And we are going to just fix it. If I can grab my white out of here, my goodness, what is happening? But I will stamp it first this time so I don't screw anything up. Let me move that. So we need, that needs to be 5, oops, wrong blade, 5 by 3 3/4 because it's going on top of another mat. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this first so I don't slaughter it. Oh, much better. Okay, whew, I had to hold my breath. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, then let me get this other piece off of here. I don't know if any of you guys are like TikTokers or that you watch TikTok or whatever. My son kind of got me into watching these stupid TikTok videos. But, I mean, in all fairness, there are some pretty cool cards on TikTok as well. I don't know how to TikTok, so I don't do it. I just watch the videos. But anyways, what I was getting at is they have this like song that a lot of people... I'm going to cut out 2 more of these little pieces here. They have these little meme-like songs, I guess you would say. And there's this one that it just reminded me of this card, is these people like do things and then they put this voice over and it says, they're not going to know. They're never going to know. How would they know? And that's exactly what this reminds me of is, how would you know? You're never going to know because I'm going to cover it. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, then you would know what my reference is. Okay, cut out 1 more. You know, now that I'm cutting this out, you know what I'm thinking? It probably would have been better to cut these out in the evening evergreen. That probably would have looked good on the side too, but you know what? I already have these cut out. Okay, let's get this out of here. Okay, put this away so I don't wind up losing it. All right. Okay, get all my little smudgies off of there so we don't have anything that's making a lump. Because we don't want a lumpy card. All right, now I'm going to glue this right on top of that. Look, who's going to know? They're never going to know. Well, you guys know, but shh, don't tell anybody. All right, oops, get my glue booger off of here. See, those are little tricks of the trade that you just kind of got to figure out as you go, that you can learn from your mistakes, and you can cover mistakes. There are certain mistakes you can cover up. There's some that you cannot. I mean, it's just, when it's slaughtered, it's slaughtered. But that was a easy mistake to fix. And I guess it wasn't even a mistake. It was just, I didn't push hard enough. Okay, there we go. Voila! What do you guys think? Isn't that pretty? Okay, so let me show you the other one that I made. And then I want to show you that new technique. Okay, so here's the other one. So now you guys can see the difference. And this one I put gold on. I used that gold, where did I just put that piece? That gold vellum. I hope you guys can see that shimmer, because holy smokes, artichokes. It definitely has a mass shimmer to it. And sometimes these, oh, there you go. Sometimes these are, a lot of the time, the camera doesn't do any of this paper justice. So this one I used down the sides instead of just using this one little sprig. On this, I actually used this border piece right here. So when it cuts out these little like stitch marks. But I went ahead and I cut right at the stitch mark so it would line up exactly on my white cardstock. And I just put a little piece. Now you could have gone the full length of this card, absolutely. I just did it to keep it where you can see it on this card when it's laying flat. And then I use that same sentiment in there. My heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything. See, I made that one work. All right, so there is card number 2. And of course, we need to make a beautiful envelope with that. So I am going to grab an envelope, since I forgot to make an envelope with that first card. Actually, I'm going to do this. Where did I just put? There it is. So make sure my envelope is facing the right way, because God only knows I've screwed that up a time or two. I'm just going to place that down there at the bottom. Give that a second to let that kind of marinate into that paper, or into that envelope. And voila! Beautiful. So there is the card with the beautiful matching envelope. So like, share, comment. That gets you entered into the drawing And you don't have to do all 3, just I require you to do at least 1 so I can see you. And if you are going to share for me, because I know you guys, you know, will do that because that's just how generous you are. So when you share it, make sure you comment that you share, because it doesn't let me go and see who shared the video. So make sure if you share it, or not that you, if you're going to share it, because I know you're all going to just be so great and share it for me, then make sure you comment that you've shared. So that enters you in. Okay, so done with that. Let me clean some of these, especially since they're those dark colors. I don't want to throw any white paper over here and wind up getting, as much as I love Evening Evergreen, I don't want it on all my cards, and especially not this next one. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Since some of those little bits had glue on them, I don't want it getting stuck to the back of a card and then it being gross. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our giveaway. So winner, winner, chicken dinner for last week's cards. So this first card we did was that bleaching, where we did the Misty Moonlight, and then all we did was took our water painter. Well, that's not... Where's my water painter? Oh, here it is. I took bleach and I put in my water painter, and then when I stamped my image, I used my Memento ink, and then I just came in and I just used a little bit of that bleach on there to take some of that color away. So that card is number 1, and that card goes to Cheryl Randall's Merchensky. So thank you so much for liking, sharing, commenting on last week's video. And then the next little, and this wasn't a card, this was one of those bottle tags. And I don't even have the bottle of wine in here anymore, but all you do is you take like a bottle of wine or a bottle of alcohol or even just sparkling cider, and you can give that as a gift. I know I'm kind of late on that. I should have had this done and ready. I mean, we made it before New Year's, but I didn't have these ready to give out yet. So it just slides over the top of a bottle, and you could also put a sentiment on the back here if you choose, or you can just slide that over there and give this as a gift, because it is so stinking cute just the way it is. Now this goes to Rhea Jones. So I think Rhea is on here. So that goes to you, Rhea. And I didn't make an envelope for that because I figured you're not going to be sending that, because you're going to be hooking it to or putting it on a gift. And then the other card, the last card that we did this polished pink, and I used those new butterfly and flower layering decorative masks. Now these will be available tomorrow on our in my store. So I took the big butterfly, which is this right here. So let me show you guys. We're going to be actually using those in just a few minutes. So I can go ahead and take these all out, because I'm going to show you another technique with it. So what I did was I took the big butterfly and I just laid it on white paper, and I just lightly took my blending brush and I dipped it in my ink, and then I lightly just went over this big open image right here of just this butterfly. And then I took, where's it at? Oh, it's because I planned on using it. That's why I took it out of there. And then I took this flower one and I just laid it on top of this butterfly image. Well, actually, you leave this here. Let me show you how to do this the correct way. You're going to leave that butterfly there to keep the outline. and it's going to be in light pink at this point, and then you're going to lay this one on top of it, and then I really inked this up good, and then I did a little bit more of an application to make it darker, and that's how I got that two-toned. And then I came in with this stencil here and did the same thing on that one, and then down here I used the flowers, because there's two different kinds of flowers there. There's one that's a little bit like more detailed, and then this one could be like the shadowing of the detail. So this card here goes to Miss Jerry Ann. And then there is the envelope for that. And that is a big congratulations card there. What did we say in the inside of this one? Just so I can tell you what that one says. You're always so good to others. Be good to yourself. Okay, so I will get those in the mail. Hopefully tomorrow. Sometimes life throws me a curveball and I don't get it in for a couple of days, but you'll get it, trust me. All right, let's get to, all right, let me put that note with those so I make sure I remember who gets what. Okay, move that out of the way, get my glasses out of the way, take a drink. Now this technique that I'm going to show you is so flippin' cool. Let me just tell you. So what I need is I need a piece of basic white. This is thick basic white. This is going to be my card base. And I'm going to score this, get this out of the way so I don't mind rubbing that in anything. And I am going to score this at 4 1/4. So this is 8 1/2. 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. Score it at 4 1/4, and then that will give me my card base. Oops, I guess I better not get rid of that too soon. And then I need this to be just 1/4 inch smaller, so this is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And then we need a scrap of white for our sentiment piece. And what I'm going to do with that is I am taking my Stitched So Sweetly, and I'm going to take one of these squares, but I'm not sure which one I'm using yet, because hold on, let me grab the set that I wanted to use with this. Oh, right here. This is one of our Celebrations stamp sets, and it comes with the coordinating paper as well. Now it is a $100 purchase freebie because it is the stamp set and this amazing paper. Hold on, let me find it right here. So you will earn the paper and the stamp set both together for a $100 purchase. Beautiful colors in this paper, just stunning. So you've got, since I don't have it on here, basic black, fresh freesia, granny apple green, petal pink, pool party, and shaded spruce. Kitty cat, move. All right, so I want to use this Hello Friend. So I just need to see how big that is. Now, a little tip to tell you that when you go to mount your photopolymer, I advise you to lay it down first and then take your block and go on top of it. Because sometimes when we try to put it on our block using our hands, sometimes we kind of configure it, like move it around, configure it where it's not in the orientation that it should be, and then things don't always come out lined up as nice as they should be. So I want to use one of these Stitched So Sweetly, so let's see which one I'm going to use that's going to fit in. All right, so I'm going to use the third one up, because I think that's going to fit quite nicely with that Hello Friend. So let me cut that out of this paper. You guys are so sweet for saying congratulations to all the winners. That's so nice of you. I love the participation. Okay, you all earn a 2 thumbs up for participation points. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started here. Move this out of the way. And so what we're going to need is my scrap paper, which, where did I put it? Okay, so I'm going to come in with just my grid paper here as a scratch paper and lay this on my surface just to make sure that I get everything on here instead of on my surface. So I am using this Rich Razzleberry, and what I want to do is I want to use a tone on tone. So another really pretty, I mean, you can totally test this out with so many of our colors. You do want to use kind of one of our medium colors, and then one that you know that the tone on tone is really going to give you kind of a rich color when you use it on there. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So I am going to take this little floral-y piece. So I advise you to have baby wipes close in hand when you are doing this technique, and then a piece of paper towel so you can kind of dry this after you use your baby wipe. Okay, I just brought the baby wipes in here. There they are. Okay, so I'm just going to keep my baby wipes handy so I know that I have them so I can clean this off when I need to. So I'm going to grab we have these Stampin' Blends, which are these big, beautiful, so soft, like you really don't want to mess them up using them for the ink because they would be so neat to apply your makeup with, but for this purpose, we are using them with our ink here. So I am going to hold this. Now, this is the reason why I'm doing this card last, because that is very red. It has very much red tones to it, and you guys know how I am when it comes to anything red. It's going to be all over my hands, but thank God I have a bar of lava soap. I'm sure you guys have heard of lava soap. It is kind of a pumicey, it's kind of to remove grease off your hands if you have somebody who ever works on cars. It's probably one of those bars of soap you probably already have on your counter or under your sink. But it removes ink very well off of your hands when you do something like this. So I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm going to ink it up, you know, just kind of blah. And I'm going to just start applying this ink. And yes, I'm going to apply it where it's kind of thick. And right now you may not see this, what's happening underneath here, but I'll show you guys in just a minute. And then see, this is where I'm going to get my fingers inky because I'm moving my hands now right into that ink. Now this is considered like a 3D look. Now, I know you're probably going, how the heck is she going to get a 3D look out of that? You wait, I will show you. It will happen, and it is so flippin' cool. When I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys have to see how amazing this looks when it's done. Okay, so now I can take this off of there. So see what I was talking about with that tone on tone? That is very rich compared to the paper, but it is the same color. Let me lift that up so you guys can see it a little bit better. You can see that it has very much that rich ink added to the same color, and it just is beautiful. So you could use it just like this by itself as a background paper, but wait, there's more. So let me grab a baby wipe because I need to clean this off and show you where the magic happens. Okay, so I'm going to just lay this on a paper towel and wipe this off. So I made my paper towel bigger than my stencil. So then when I go to, you know, clean it off, it's just going on my paper towel, and my paper towel can absorb the moisture and that extra color that I don't need. Okay, just now when you're done with this technique, I would advise you to take this to the sink and rinse it off with just water. So the next time you go to use it, you won't have any of that pink residue on that stencil, because depending on what other color you're going to go with next, you probably aren't going to want pink mixed in with your next color. Okay, so there we go. Now, this is where the magic happens. Okay, so we're done with that one. Now, I bought a bunch of these little blender brushes off of Amazon because I wanted to have a bunch that I can destroy and not feel like I'm destroying something. I mean, these are good quality too, don't get me wrong, but I think there was like 15 in a pack or 10 in a pack or something, and they came with these little stickers, so when I know that I'm using like a certain color with it, I just stick the colored sticker on the back. But I will tell you, the quality of these and the big, I mean, you can see the size difference. These do work a lot better for a big surface like this, but this I didn't mind because I'm going to come in with my craft pad, which is white ink, and I'm going to use this on here. Now you can see that this has kind of been tinged pink because of me trying it last night. So I'm just going to rub this on my paper towel to try to get some of that pink off so I don't transfer the pink from here into my white. Now, this is kind of the trick. You want to line this back up so you can see that, okay, so that would be not lined up. And then when you bring all those colors back together, it's now lined up back onto itself. So what you want to do is you want to take this and just ever so slightly, just a smidge, you want to move it kind of over and up just a hair. So you want to kind of go to the, I mean, you can go to the right or the left, but I'm going to go to the left, and then I'm going to go up. So there's just a hint. I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not. You can see just a hint of me moving off of the color that I just applied. Now this is where you're going to see this 3D magic happen. So I'm going to put this in my white, and then I'm going to hold this down, and then I'm going to start applying my white. Now, I wish I could remember the lady's name that I saw do this so I could give her a shout out, because holy smokes, artichokes, is this the coolest technique ever. So see, I can see if I've moved my stencil at all, I can see where I need to go back with it. So by no means is this my idea. No, no. Somebody else came up with this, and I love her for it because it is a very cool, and it does look very 3D. Like, you just wait. Okay. Look at that. Just a tip to keep your pad clean. don't push the brush back into the pad. Oh, like if I'm done on here, don't push it back in there. Yeah, that's probably a really good idea. And I probably should have cleaned it off the second time round. But normally what I do is I just take, well, after my hands are clean, and I just kind of rub my finger on there, and I just kind of grab some of that pink off, and then I wipe my finger off. Or I just grab another baby wipe and do that. Or I'll do kind of the same thing. I just rub my baby wipe lightly across there just to kind of pick up those pinks that are on there. Or if worst case scenario, if I slaughter that pad, since, I mean, I've dumped coffee in this pad has been well loved and been used for a long time. I've had this craft ink pad for a long time. It might be time to just buy a new one and keep this one just for techniques like this. That could be a very big possibility as well. All right, so let me hold this up. Let me put this away so I don't stick my hands in it. So look at that. Do you see where it makes it look like it's 3D and it's popping up? Isn't that cool? It makes those flowers look like they're jumping up off of that paper. Super simple. Who would have thought? Well, obviously this other person who did this thought of it because it's just genius. Now let me show you. I did it in the, this is Bermuda Bay with Bermuda Bay ink with the white put on that as well. I don't think, I mean, it works, but I don't think I like it as well as something darker like this. Now, she did it on Misty Moonlight. And let me tell you, it looks amazing on Misty Moonlight as well. I'm pretty sure Gorgeous Grape would look really good. Highland Heather would probably look really good. I don't know about any of our reds. Always go watch the replay because I miss important words when it freezes. Oh, I'm sorry that it's freezing up on you. Oh, yes, definitely watch the replay because you're going to want to see how to do this technique. And definitely when you guys make some cards, please post them over on Pink Barn Stampers so we can all get inspiration. And then we can see the colors that you guys have tried to use, because it can't be something that's really super light because then you're not going to see the white on top of it. And you really want to see that contrast of white to have those colors pop, these flowers pop. So let's finish this card up. Now with this having the white on there, it's going to take forever for that to dry because of the fact that that craft ink doesn't dry very well. So you don't really have to worry about washing it right away because of the fact that we will be done with this video before that ever gets on there. But craft ink doesn't dry very fast when it's on something like this that is non-porous. But I'm going to set that aside so I can make sure I wash that and get some of this ink off my fingers because I'm going to be touching this white card base and I don't want to leave any of my finger residual on my card. Okay, where did I put my, okay, here it is. So I'm going to use this little piece and I'm going to use Rich Razzleberry. Ugh, and I just stinking stuck my fingers in it again because it wasn't bad enough that I didn't have enough ink all over my hands. Now, if we have this really neat punch, I didn't purchase it because I don't know why, I just wasn't thinking, but it comes with the, what set does it come with? They have a new punch that's coming out that has like little leaf sprig pieces that come with one of the stamp sets, and I can't remember. I know what you guys are demonstrators on here watching. What is the set that I'm thinking of that new punch comes with? That one that has the sprigs punch. Ooh, is that crooked? Oh no, I guess it's okay. It's just me. And the other thing is make sure when you go to do this technique that your ink pad is nice and juicy. Like not super juicy where it's like running off the sides, but try to make sure you're using a newly re-inked pad when you go to do your sponging on there. Okay, so let's get this adhered to this. Thousand Blossoms. That's it. It's the bow punch. Or bow punch, however you say that word. And that white does take just a few minutes to dry, because like I said, it is that craft ink. So you might get like this chalk look on yourself, but again, make sure you keep your baby wipe handy. Okay, and then we're going to take this and we're going to just put this right on here like that, but I'm going to pop that up. There's my dimensionals. Okay, and I'm going to move that kind of where it's sitting more towards the right hand side of that. I don't want it centered, but I want it where it's not crooked like I just placed it. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit straighter. Then I think if you have that punch, or if you plan on buying that punch, hello Miss Jamie, it would be really neat to take just some white paper, cut out a couple of those little sprigs from that punch. It would be a lot easier than me having to find a die now that has, but I think what I'm going to do is use that, where did I put it? It is that Forever Fern. I love the sprigs that are in that set. Let me grab that really quick. The Forever Fern has kind of some neat spriggy pieces that you can use. I think I'm just going to grab maybe, maybe I'll just take this piece. Okay, and then I'm going to cut a couple of these out. There's probably a million other sprig sets. I just can't think of one at the moment. But I'm just going to do this really quick, just to kind of add some sprigs to this. Now I put 2 dimensionals on there so I can actually take and kind of tuck these coming out of here, kind of like that. And because they're white, they really stand out on, you know, this design back here. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little part of this off because I don't need that much on there. And then I'm going to take my piece now and I'm just going to lay it directly on my glue dot. And then again, do the same thing over here. Cut that off. And then lay this directly on my glue dot. And then pull that up off of there. And again, lightly, without tearing your piece, pull those up so then the dot just comes right off of there onto your piece. So it's less work. Like that. And then I'm going to take this one and kind of go the other way. Just like that. So there you go. Kind of a fun, easy, I mean, you guys could have so much fun decorating these up, but isn't that such a cool, neat technique with those, with using those masks? And you actually get 6 masks in with this new set. So you could have a lot of fun playing around with this. Look at this one that looks like these little like vines coming down. Then you have the butterflies, and then this one that almost looks like some kind of lacy look. Now this looks really pretty in that too. That's the one that she used. She used this one with the Misty Moonlight. And then you have the flowers that coordinate together like this. Oh, no, not that one. That one goes with that flower there. And then this one goes with that one there. And then you have all these little spriggy pieces on there too to just have fun with. And then the one that we just used, this one that kind of looks like these little floweries or daisies or whatever you want to call it. Now, here was my swatch piece that I used last night. So see how cool that is, that technique? So I'm going to call it just the 3D masking because I'm not sure if there's a name for it, but that's what I'm calling it. Let's make something be in the inside of this. There are... Now see, I might just take this piece or this sprig and put that there. And then, hello friend, hope you have the best birthday, or you have my love and support. Now that might be cool for, if this was kind of more along the lines of a sympathy or a get well or something like that. But I think we're going to do this maybe a birthday card. I mean, why not? No more depressing cards. Because God only knows we have quite a few people who are having birthdays in January. It's my granddaughter's birthday, January 6th, and then it's her mother, my oldest daughter. Her birthday is on the 18th of January. Now, I don't talk to my daughter. She has decided to make other choices that do not include us in her life. So whatever, that's her prerogative. But I know some people, I say my granddaughter and my daughter, and people are like, what? You have another kid? Yeah, I do. But she has chosen to, you know, figure life out. And when she does, we're going to still be here. But she's turning 21. And then my granddaughter, I think on this, you know what's really funny is my granddaughter's due date was my daughter's birthday. So if she would have actually had my granddaughter Oakley on her due date on my daughter's birthday, she would have had her on her 18th birthday. Crazy, right? And then I think that's awfully blah in there. Maybe we need some flowers. What if we do, I think the sprigs are just going to be kind of too stark. What if we just do this little flower down here? Or is that, I don't know. Yeah, let's do it. So yeah, it's both of their birthdays coming up. And then I know there's a couple of you guys, like for instance, Miss Melanie Foy, it's her birthday today. And then Lois's birthday is on Thursday the 6th. So yeah, fun, fun, fun. And so the way that I know everybody's birthday and the way that I post your guys' birthdays so everybody can wish you guys happy birthday is if you go over to the Pink Barn Stampers group, which is where I keep telling you guys to post all your cards that you wind up creating and doing. Over there on my announcements, you'll see that I say, you know, tell me your birthday. So then I can make sure I get a graphic up on your special day, and then we can all tell you happy birthday. Let's do this little flower on here. And it's kind of nice to get some love from, you know, everybody in the group here. I'm going to put that there, and then I'm also going to do it again back here. Just like that. Then they have some prettiness on the front and some prettiness on the back. So let me get all 3 of these cards back out that we have made tonight, because I think we're probably coming up on my, I try to set myself a 2-hour limit so I don't bore the heck out of you guys. So there is our last card. Move my scratch paper here. Move some of my mess. You know what's crazy? I didn't use any embellishments. Whoa, what is wrong with me? I think we need some embellishments. Hold on. Where did I put the envelopes? Oh, they're there. Okay, we have to put some embellishments on this card here because I have them right here. And then we might need some of those on that because, oh, how boring am I? Jeez Louise. I have a drawer, literally a drawer full of embellishments over here. And how dare I forget to add prettiness on top of more prettiness, right? Okay, so these are those embellishments that I was telling you that are going to be no longer available as of tomorrow. So you have to get these tonight. What's the card? Okay, this is the card that we made. So let's put some pretties on here. All right, so I'm going to grab some of these. They're cherry cobbler. So let's do just something random, adding that sparkle around on here. Just like that. Okay, so, ooh, definitely needed some bling. What the heck am I thinking? So there is that one, and it's bling. And then let's add some bling to this other one sitting here. Okay, I'm going to move these before I wind up sticking something in it. Now these are these new iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. Those are also in the new JJ mini catalog. So they will be available tomorrow. You've got these in 3 different sizes. So you've got the small, the medium, and the large. And look at how pretty these things are and the colors that they bring out. So if you were to put this on this card, just by sticking that next to this rich raspberry, it makes these little blings turn like that raspberry color. And then look at this. If I was to put it by this green, you're going to see more greens. It's kind of crazy how whatever color you put them on, they just kind of pop to that color. Okay, let's do this one here and a little one here. And then I'm going to grab another medium one and put it kind of up here in this corner. Yep, there we go. So again, we do things in odd numbers because odd numbers are what are appealing or appeasing to the eye. Then do we need something on this one? Oops, wrong one. Now I'm not sure if, you know, you could probably, I mean, this will fit absolutely in an envelope, but I wasn't certain whether or not you would just hand this to somebody like this, or if you actually are going to mail it. I will put some of this paper on an envelope, but I'll probably use the flip side to make that like this. I forgot to do the envelope. Do I have any of that paper? So we're going to take that piece there. Okay, so let me cut this right like that, and go like this, and cut this at 2 1/4. And then take this and cut it at 6. So even though I have some of those score marks in there, when we put it on this envelope, the glue is going to hold it down and you're not even going to know. And we're actually going to be cutting some of that off. So hold on just a second. Okay, and then I put my snips away, so let me grab this, and we're just going to cut this right off of here, following our envelope around. Oh my gosh, so some of you guys who've been following me for a while, you know how my husband bought that Trigger, or Traeger, however the heck you say it, that barbecue, that, or I guess it's a smoker, it's not a barbecue. Holy crud, let me tell you, we have been cooking everything on that smoker, and the food always comes out amazing. So we made some jalapeno poppers, and he put them on the smoker. Oh, heaven. He made a rib roast for Christmas. Heaven. Like, I was just telling him, I said, I've never had rib roast because I don't care for those. I think and he's a butcher, so of course we eat a lot of meat. And then for New Year's, he bought some bratwursts, all these different kinds of flavors of bratwurst, chicken and apple, and all these different kind of flavors. And everything comes out like heaven on that smoker. So if you ever get the opportunity, if Costco ever brings them back, because that's where we got them, because it seemed to be like the best price ever at Costco, grab one, because they are a godsend. Let me tell you, it puts a regular barbecue to shame. Just saying. All right, so there are our cards that we created tonight that I showed you. I hope you guys enjoyed those, and I hope you create some of these cards on your own. All right, you guys, I will see you. We now have hit 8 o'clock. I will see you guys next Monday, which is the 10th, and I hope to see that you guys purchase some of those amazing products and get those celebrations. You guys need to get your free product because there's a lot of wonderful things, as you can see in that Celebrations catalog. All right, you guys, have a great week. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay well. Don't get sick, anybody. And I will see you next week. All right, thanks, you guys. Bye.